Hello, you're watching News Mongolia on MNB World, and I'm your host, Jargalma Tushinjargal. On the News Mongolia today, Mongolia's foreign exchange reserves reach record levels amid export and investment growth. Mongolia has been classified as a country strengthening its cybersecurity. 60 children participated in the I'm Mongolian cultural competition in the US. For the news, stay tuned. As of November 25, 2024, Mongolia's official foreign exchange reserves surpassed $4.9 billion, marking a rise of $38.8 million, or 0.8% compared to the beginning of the year, according to the Bank of Mongolia. This reserve level ensures the country can meet foreign exchange paid import demands for 5.1 months.
The increase in reserves is attributed to improved inflows of US dollars into Mongolia through export revenues and foreign direct investment. By the end of October, export revenues reached $13.4 billion, reflecting $800 million increase from the previous year. Key contributors to this figure include 55% from the hard coal, 19.8% from a copper concentrate, and 6% from gold. With exports of mining and mineral products anticipated to grow further, the positive economic trend has led international credit rating agencies such as Fitch and Moody's to upgrade Mongolia's credit rating outlook to be stable. This improvement has also positively impacted the credit ratings of commercial banks, enabling them to secure favorable business and green loans from international markets. Additionally, major government projects are expected to boost investment in Mongolia. Official projections indicate the country's foreign exchange reserves will exceed $5 billion by the end of 2024, underlining a robust economic trajectory.
Mongolia has been classified as a country making progress in cybersecurity, but incidents like leaked private hospital data reveal persistent vulnerabilities. Experts urge enhanced systems, skilled personnel, and public awareness to address rising cyber risks amid rapid digitalization.
One of the recent examples of cybercrime is a breach of private information from patients at a certain private hospital. Currently, the relevant authorities are investigating the case. Professionals highlight that the risks of cyber attacks persist. This example reflects not just an organizational issue, but a systemic one, showing that improving cybersecurity requires more than better equipment or trained personnel.
We are providing government e-services using tools that some organizations cannot implement. However, alongside digitalization, we adhere to the principle of ensuring cybersecurity. While we excel in legal measures, we fail to meet the Asian average in other indicators. Most expertise lies within the private sector, while state institutions lack the necessary knowledge, skills, experience, and leadership.
Mongolia ranks 46th globally in digital development. Currently, 119 services from 20 organizations have been digitalized, and 227 services have been introduced via the e-Mongolia application. While e-services offer benefits, at the same time they bring simultaneous responsibility of establishing full cybersecurity. Government organizations conduct cybersecurity risk assessments, but embedding the system into the private sector is crucial.
The recent healthcare breach demonstrates that phased measures could have prevented this risk. Instead of blaming organizations, we must focus on identifying vulnerabilities and implementing preventive strategies for other institutions.
Research shows that 3 out of 10 people in Mongolia cannot benefit from digitalization, and internet users remain uninformed about cybersecurity. Experts emphasize that alongside safeguarding operations in government and private institutions, individuals must protect their data from cyber attacks as digitalization accelerates.
Thank you for staying with us. Now let's take a look at Mongolian current affairs.
The I Am Mongolian Culture Competition is held annually among Mongolian American children, and this time it coincides with the observance of the centennial of the proclamation and the first constitution. This year's competition, organized under the motto Mongolian Treasure is Mongolians, saw the participation of around 60 children. Organizers stated that the goal of the competition is to help Mongolian children born and raised abroad preserve and pass on their mother tongue culture and history. Additionally, the competition was beneficial in encouraging children to expand their understanding and knowledge shared with others and foster teamwork and friendship.
Here is currency exchange rates provided by Mongol Bank. Next, our program will turn our attention to foreign news, partnered with international news agencies. The U.S. Assistant Secretary General for Europe, Central Asia, and the Americas on Wednesday is cautioning to further escalation in Ukraine, calling on parties to use restraint.
Latest developments follow the disturbing reports of troops from the Democratic People's Republic of Korea being deployed to the conflict zone. On 21st November, the Ukrainian city of Dnipro was hit by a ballistic intermediate-range Russian missile. The location hit was reportedly an industrial area southwest of Dnipro city. According to the Ukrainian authorities, the missile was equipped with 6 warheads, each with 6 submunitions, and took only 15 minutes to arrive from the launch site in the Astrakhan region of the Russian Federation, some 1,000 kilometers away from Dnipro city.
Miroslav further drew attention to a Russian drone attack Tuesday, describing it as the largest drone deployment in a single attack. Russia's Deputy UN Ambassador Dmitry Polansky cautioned that every wave of escalation from the West is going to be decisively responded to. Following U.S. President Joe Biden's authorization for Ukraine to use U.S.-supplied longer-range missiles to strike deep inside Russia earlier this month, Ukrainian Ambassador Sergei Kislitsa, highlighting Russia and North Korea's deepening military ties, called on members to continue their support of Ukraine. U.S. Deputy Ambassador Robert A. Wood said the U.S. continues to stand by Ukraine amid rising tensions. Details as follows.
The DPRK is now entering the war in a fully fledged manner. According to available information, its current military contingent of 11,000 troops could quickly be increased to 100,000. The question of whether the Pyongyang regime truly requires such a substantial number of combat-trained servicemen solely to assist its Russian allies is rhetorical at best.
The bankrupt Zelensky regime needs, at any cost, to drag NATO countries into direct conflict with Russia in a battlefield. At any other scenario, he would be facing an irreversible and humiliating defeat that has demonstrated in the failed Kursk escapade of the Ukrainian head honcho, and the clear collapse of the front in Donbas that is being pointed out by all military experts. Even Western news agencies have recognized that just last week alone, Russian troops liberated 235 square kilometers of territory. That is a record for 2024. The most powerful regions are collapsing, that was set up by Kyiv since 2014. In the ranks of the Ukrainian military, there's clear panic. The force mobilized soldiers are fleeing en masse for their positions.
The United States stands with a community of nations in support of Ukraine and the principles of sovereignty and territorial integrity. Our future is at stake. Russia's war threatens our NATO allies, European security, and the fundamental rights enshrined in the UN Charter.
The pressing issue to be addressed at the UN Security Council at the present is the act of undermining peace by the United States and its allies that are inciting confrontation and conflict among countries, while running amok the strengths of aggressive alliance and arms buildup driven by their ambition for hegemony.
Russian President Vladimir Putin and his Kazakh counterpart Kassym-Jomart Tokayev on Wednesday gave a joint statement on the deepening of a strategic partnership between the two countries.
We discussed a wide range of topical issues on the bilateral agenda and outlined promising areas for our strategic partnership. We came to the unanimous opinion. We discussed a wide range of topical issues on the bilateral agenda and outlined promising areas for our strategic partnership. We came to the unanimous opinion that despite the difficult geopolitical situation, bilateral relations are dynamically developing along in an upward direction. We are certainly satisfied with the results of the negotiations. I am confident that the current visit and our negotiations will contribute to the further development of multifaceted Russian-Kazakh cooperation and our relations for the benefit of our countries and peoples. Putin and Tokayev came together at the Akkorda Presidential Palace in Astana along with their delegations following an official welcoming ceremony. According to a statement by the Kremlin, the leaders were expected to discuss issues pertaining to further development of Russia-Kazakhstan strategic partnership and allied relationship in various areas, particularly in the light of this year's presidencies of Kazakhstan in the CSTO and of Russia in the Commonwealth of Independent States and BRICS. The Collective Security Treaty Organization was formed in the first half of the 1990s following the collapse of the Soviet Union. Besides Russia, it includes Armenia, Belarus, Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan, and Tajikistan.
Israel military spokesperson Rear Admiral Daniel Hagari said Wednesday that any violation of the ceasefire agreement by Hezbollah will be met with fire.
In the early hours of the morning, the ceasefire agreement with Lebanon went into effect, as approved by the Prime Minister, the Minister of Defense, and the Cabinet. The task of the IDF is the enforcement of the ceasefire agreement. The IDF is acting carefully. Any violation will be met with fire. IDF forces are still taking positions in southern Lebanon, in villages and areas where there will be a gradual withdrawal, according to the agreement. The Air Force planes are still hovering over the skies of Lebanon, gathering intelligence and ready to act as needed.
Hagari showed a map of the area where the Israeli forces are operating and called on the Lebanese residents not to return until Israel informs them. The two sides entered into a ceasefire early Wednesday that appears to be holding. It gives Israel and Hezbollah militants 60 days to withdraw from areas of southern Lebanon near the border. Thousands of Lebanese troops and UN peacekeepers will patrol the area, and an international committee will monitor compliance.
Alright, that's all for today. Thank you for staying with us. We'll see you on Friday with more news and updates. Goodbye.